Warning: this podcast may contain adult content or language. It also might contain content that could be seen from others as uncomfortable or upsetting due to personal reasons. If that is the case, then please proceed with caution or stop the video, as we at the table are comfortable in most circumstances. This is a safety blanket meant for all individuals watching these episodes, as it is unclear what story content will be displayed. Hope you enjoy the story.
Welcome, everyone. This will be our very first session of what we are probably going to hopefully keep named or rename DoubleTime. We are unsure if that is the name for this. But
we didn't decide on the name.
We did not decide on the name, really. It was a joke of, we'll just call it DoubleTime. Well, it might change names later. This is a very different kind of D&D session where one player will be the DM, and then one player will be the player, and we will switch forcibly every hour with like a little bit of some homebrew rulings of if they can keep their mentality, they'll get an extra 5 minutes, and then we'll figure it out from there. We've got the rules up on in front of me, so we'll go from there once the situation occurs. Might not. But just so everyone knows, essentially we are going to be playing the same character. We're a changeling individual who has a split personality where both of our personalities are each of us. So while one person's a player, one person's a DM, they'll switch, and then they'll switch personalities as well. Switching the personalities is changes their mental stats, which we rolled separately. We'll change the spells we know. We'll change our class features, abilities improvements. The entirety of our person will change, especially with how diverse we changed our people. For instance, my side of the personality, Anna Dinhart, is a full-blown cleric, all intelligent-based of the knowledge domain, while his character, Jester, over there, is all about acrobatics and trickery domains with partial segments into rogue or starting to be a rogue. So it's going to be pretty different. We're not, we've been doing this for, maybe 4 sessions or so, 5 sessions, not even...
Something like that, yeah. Hasn't been too long.
Yeah, not been too long at all. So we are just entering the hierarchy of the 9 hells. That's essentially what we've gone through. Before that, we escaped from Neverwinter, where we started, after someone caused an entire murder of a family run in.
I have no idea what you're talking about, sir. It was obviously you.
Mm-hmm, definitely. Mm-hmm. So we had to escape through a teleportation circle that transported us to the Shadowfell, which was just a more hellish version of Neverwinter. And from there, we met up with a bunch of people, tried to escape, where we learned that there's a well in the Shadowfell version of Waterdeep, and went on the way there, had some mental altercations with a man called Strahd von Zadovich, who then murdered everyone as we were leaving. After leaving, we just went to hell. Just decided to hide in hell, where we then became a slave. Our current shape is a different side of Anna called Din Anna, who is essentially just trying to play off being a tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, changelings can change their entire body structure from different races, keeping the same racial benefits, but changing different races, genders, all alike. So it's generally follows a lot of different personalities for each of us.
Yes, indeed.
Where did we last leave off?
We left off with you being charmed by an incubus.
Oh, right. I was enthralled. But, and then in that moment we switched sides, so the mentality of the enthralled Anna is now in the back of your mind. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you want to add anything before we start this up?
No, I think you covered everything.
Okay. So with that, we'll start the hour timer here in a second. Let me get back to it. All right. So, Jester, you were just dragged before you had entered Hell, you had felt the heat, and in that moment, you had switched places with Anna, watching everything unfold without your input. Um, so essentially, you come to, you switch places with Anna, and you're in essentially this long, drawn-out hallway with a lot of different bustling figures from devils and demons and all these different creatures that are just walking in. Several of them having slaves in tow of varying races with the same metal armband and branded number onto your onto your body. Standing in front of you is this incredibly um, attractive incubus who leaned in forwards, is currently kissing the back of your hand. In the back of your mind, you can feel Anna almost like reaching forwards, but unable to really do anything. Behind you is the two. Were they twins?
Sisters, I think.
I think
Don't remember.
I think they were sisters. I didn't write down their names because I didn't get their names. By the way, just a quick reminder: this is going to be pretty much 100% improvised because we're going to be having two DMs running a story. It's going to be impossible to try to line up ideas ahead of time. Yep. So this is going to be 100% improvised.
Everything is made up on the spot.
Everything. So, fair warning if things get a little bit graphic. I'll also put a warning in the beginning of the videos, like I have been in the previous campaign for the Great Gods War. But just another reminder. Things sometimes get a little weird. So, essentially, you have this incubus who's standing there shirtless with this like curling tail kind of flipping behind him, and he's just kissing the back of your hand.
Oh. Damn, you have one hot bod, sir. Excuse me. And I'll attempt to run away.
Okay. So you're trying to just leave his hand. He doesn't fight back. He just as you kind of pull your arm back, you also quickly realize that you're still in the female tiefling form. And he just goes, "Oh, I do love a fighter. But alas, I am busy this time. I came to speak to my beloved sister in there, Ilinata. So if you'd please step aside from the doorway, I have business to attend to."
Oh, of course. Good day to you, sir.
As you kind of change your tone of speech from what Anna was, how Anna talks before, he kind of gives a curious eye glance, looking back to the two sisters. He does an imaginary top of his hat. "If you wouldn't mind, ladies," and they kind of follow you as you step aside. He goes into the very large, kind of obsidian-like doors, pulls them open. You can see behind him is the succubi that Anna kind
killed
of
that dude.
yeah, who completely eviscerated the old man that's currently now lifeless husk inside of your bag of holding that you just are carrying around.
Forgot you put him in there. Yes, good.
Yep. Thought you might have some valuables on him. He did not. Well,
we just have a body now, I guess. Replaces the one that we lost.
Anyways, so what is your plan? Right now in front of you, all you see is the crackling kind of cobblestone-like ground inside this hallway. Lining the inside of the different stonework is this kind of faint red light that is just giving off enough light to cover the entire area. So everything in this, even though there's no torches or sconces or anything, it's just bright. Like if you're just standing out in the sun.
Nice. I will turn to the sisters. So, how should we get out of here?
They kind of look at each other and then look at you. We were following you. You told us to follow you, so we kind of are just going to be going with what you think is best. There's not much else that you take this in stride. It's confusing. You're a slave, and yet you're very dutiful and what you want to do. I don't understand why you're so forthright with what you want to do here.
Ah, of course. Have you ever done yoga?
The younger sister looks up at the older one, is almost like in sheer confusion in this individual who's in hell as a slave talking about yoga. Um, the older sister just looks back at you. I mean, yes, of course, but is this really the time?
Of course. Uh, Now, follow my lead. This will be very good for you, I can assure you.
Uh, okay. Well, uh, we'll follow your lead then. Okay. Where are we going?
Right here. This is a good place to do some nice yoga.
So off to the side of the library-esque type of location where you had learned all about the um the wars amongst the creatures from hell and abyss, and is that what it was? What was it again? It was
Was an archive of previous battles with the Abyss.
yes. Let me go to my notes page again, quick, because I wrote it all down. Because I remember the amount of deaths I wrote down. Okay, it was from both sides of the Blood War over the course of 12 hours was several hundreds of thousands.
Yes.
The two twin sisters are half elven, almost identical. And there was an elderly human man that we have sitting inside of our inside of our bag of holding. Okay. Um. So you just start to do yoga right off to the side then.
Yeah.
Okay.
We call this pose the Headless Cadaver.
Their eyes just go wide, and as you just kind of bend your neck in such a way that your head looks like it just got cut off, and you're just kind of in a very calm pose and posture with the back of your head just essentially touching your neck, like your spinal column.
Yes.
They don't even attempt to try. Instead, they will just kind of stand close to the wall, keeping general glances around as there's several like imps and like bone devils kind of just walking around. The imps pretty much flying, however.
Mm. Mm. Ah,
You can see at the
I
very
will.
end of this hallway is another very large double-doored obsidian like passageway. The one that you had essentially entered through is very similar in texture, but the one that's towards the other end of this hallway, which is maybe about like 100, 200 feet down, has these like cracks into it that have several different jutting red lines inside of it.
Are there people passing in and out of this doorway?
Not in this doorway, but in this hallway, there's several different like corridors that are intersected in between. You can see there's pretty much dozens of creatures going through this. Some of them slaves, some of them different tiers of beings of hierarchy. You don't see any of the scum tier lemures, essentially,
Mm.
but you definitely see like there's a few spined devils and imps that are just kind of in tow with several different slaves. Uh, Other than that, you don't see anyone else that's essentially traveling through, other than just these rapid amounts of devils and demons. Devils,
All right.
because they're in war with the demons, right? Is that what this is?
Uh, yes, they fight with the Abyss, and they have
Yes.
forever.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Uh, am I aware of any other duties we have to perform today?
Um, you were essentially inside. Well, Anna was essentially inside of the archive for several hours, just organizing it. You weren't given any other special task, and Ilinara just was. You recall Anna said that she would take care of the old man's body for Ilinara.
All right. Okay.
Other than that, you were not given any other special task.
All right.
You also were not told of any place to get food or sleep or anything.
Very good.
Yes, you were told nearly nothing.
All right. Sisters, I don't know either of your names, and I don't really want to know you either. Where do we get food?
They both kind of just look at you. Do you not know anything of what's going on?
Where are we?
They kind of just stare wide-eyed, looking at you.
Have we met before?
Make a deception check. Oh man, there's no way. What's your deception?
I gotta find my sheet. 25.
Oh wow, actually you do beat them. They had a natural 18 and 17. That's surprising. They both just kind of glance at you. They clasp their hands, heads down, and just start to walk down the hallway towards the other doors.
I will follow them from a distance.
Okay. You can see that what they do is essentially, as there's several different intersecting groups of individuals led by different devils and such, they kind of just wait. You can see that they kind of, like a few imps kind of look by, stop, and just kind of keep pulling on the current slaves that they have with them. Moving on past, they take their time. They try to just they try to just stay out of everyone's way, and eventually do lead their way to the door. They both kind of just open the split, and now being just a little bit behind them, you can see that there's you're in a massive hellbound city. The walls and structures are all made of this, like, not obsidian, but pitch black stonework that is devoid of any kind of just color. The entire city is just dark with the colors, but the ground itself still has that red lining of light that goes through each individual crack in the stonework or the cobblestone pathway, and that's giving off light that's covering the entire passages. Looking up, you can just see several red mist-like environment. Don't see any sun or clouds or anything of the sort. You just see pretty much death above you. And going through, you can see, once these doors were opened, there's many, 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 many more devils and slaves alike. It seems that where you are, there's different tiered lists for the slave work that people have. You can see there are some that are being put to manual labor, kind of just chipping away, building more stonework. You can see that there's a few that are just essentially pampering other individuals, and there are actually also some being bartered off. You can see that they've got like sacks of something, and they're trading them off, as well as just taking several slaves as they switch sides, essentially.
Anna, where are we? What have we done? This is really bad.
Let me look at something. Let me look at the page for Incubi. How long does the enthrall last?
I want to say an hour.
I'm pretty
but
sure
I'm not
it's
too
an
sure.
hour. 284. Charm. Oh no. It's charm for 1 day.
Oh, even better.
In the back of your mind, all you hear is just Anna, just kind of, just almost out of it of sorts. She's just like, well, we probably shouldn't leave. And maybe that man over there has some information for us on what we could do.
I grabbed myself by the neck and I slapped myself.
Okay. You
I'm
slap
like, Anna,
yourself.
what the fuck is wrong with you? What happened?
You slap the physical body of yourself, and you just feel pain, like a little bit of some tinge, and it's probably gonna welt or bruise later on, but, you know, you slapped yourself. What can you expect?
Worth it.
I don't know. It's he's very persuasive.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly he's of a place that knows more than the average individual.
You saw what his sister did to that old dude, right?
Fair enough. But, I mean, we got out of that unscathed.
I mean, not because of you.
She just falls silent.
That's what I thought. Now, onward to find some food.
Okay. I mean, the two half-elven individuals kind of just were in shock, but then just start to head in a certain direction, pretty much with no purpose. You can tell they're just winging it. But they've lost faith in their guide, as he had forgotten who they were after a mere few minutes. So you can see they're going down essentially this kind of dark. Well, everything's perpetually dark in color, but they go into this less conspicuous alleyway essentially, and they cut the corner. Make a perception check as you're just kind of standing at the staircase of this massive building that you're in.
Oh goody, I'm so good at these. A 6.
Okay. Looking around, they all just look like black stonework, and you can see there's like a few of them that have these like spires that kind of twirl up to the top, almost like a shell-like atmosphere. You get a quick glance of your building, and it's got several different like obsidian columns that coalesce upwards in an octagonal design, and they are essentially like the Lincoln Memorial of hell.
Lincoln Memorial is the thing in the White House area, right? No. Yes. No.
No.
I'm not American. Tell me.
It's just got 4 columns essentially of each side that go upwards in a flat arc kind of atmosphere with a crescent triangular top essentially.
Ah, yes, of course.
I'll send you a picture of it later on, but
why, thank you.
But that's your building. As far as you can gather, you can't really see where people are getting food at or anything like that. You don't see anybody eating anything.
I guess I'll enter the building. I don't really want to be picked off by whatever's outside, so.
Okay. Oh, I'm also wrong. It's not triangular. It's rectangular on top. I was wrong. But regardless. So you just head in a direction. You start walking for some time, and you quickly realize that the city's massive. You don't know too much about the 9 layers of hell, but or the 7 layers of hell. Is it 7 or 9?
9.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm dumb. But looking around, you can definitely see that there's a lot of devils. a lot of devils.
Who would have thought?
Yeah,
in hell,
it's
there would be a lot of
surprising,
devils.
right? It's really surprising.
But, okay.
But yeah, that's what you kind of gather. You're looking around. You can see that there's a few vendors out that are selling other slaves, and you see that there's a few that are selling like these solid black stones that look almost like skipping stones, basically. And oh yes, of course.
Of
course. But glancing around, you still don't see people eating food at all. Like,
not good.
Yeah, they're not. They don't seem to be eating. There's just people selling random bits and pieces of things, not your usual wares and common goods that you find in the material plane. They're selling like weird statuettes that are also just solid black. It's very strange because everything is just black here. Like it's almost like everything's been burned to a crisp and just like charred on every piece of block that you pass by.
Can I make a check to see if I know anything about the 9 hells?
Sure, make a religion check.
I do believe that is a 4.
You know that hell is generally warm, pretty warm.
Oh yeah.
There's there's a lot of like horned creatures in here, and you heard stories that this is where people go when they die or when they've been screwed over with deals from other beings, stuff like that.
Well, that's all you need to know about hell, I guess. Fuck.
You're currently maybe still only like a few hundred feet from the massive building, but that you came from. But getting a quick general glance around, you can see this is it's not nearly as bustling as the inside of that building was, but there's people that are on chains, just kind of strapped to different points of buildings with their arms and legs bound to the wall. There's a imp individual who's off to the side. He's kind of just holding out these black rocks, holding them up to people. There's an Araness that is walking down with about 5 or 6 different slaves behind her in tow. One of which has this wrapping of this blue lasso type of whip on her, and the imp holds out the stone to her, and she walks by, snatches it out of his hand, and he kind of just does like this bowing pray almost to her before she just kind of walks by, not giving any kind of idle glance or anything. And she just bites onto the stone for a brief moment, and that's what she does.
Okay. As she walks by, I will attempt to fall in line with the slaves behind her.
Okay, make a stealth check.
A 9. I'm rolling like dog shit tonight.
I mean, that's your third roll, right?
Yes. All have been beneath 5.
Ooh.
No, that deception was pretty good.
Your deception was 25. What are you talking about?
That's the best.
So, you kind of fall in line. The Araness gives you a pretty clear glance as she just looks at you. Yes. And she stares at you after you fall in line. Do you have a death wish?
I mean, no more than him, and I point at the guy ahead of me.
The guy in front of you who's not necessarily in shape, but not obese. He looks like he's had his fair share of meals, and his face just goes pale. No, I didn't do anything. No, ma'am, I didn't. He's just here. I didn't do anything. I swear, ma'am. She just gives her eyes just turn to just a glare at both of you, essentially.
Hey, I'm not the one who said to break all those slaves free.
You broke slaves free.
He did, and I pointed at the dude.
Oh no, I didn't. I've been with you the whole time. Make a deception check with disadvantage, because she absolutely knows for a fact this dude has been stuck behind her for quite some time.
That is a 24.
So with a natural 1 on the dude's persuasion, the one that's like the woman that was behind the Araness directly, the lasso goes untaught, and she steps forwards. All the slaves just kind of stop behind. Oh, really? Is this what you meant when you said that you had to use the restroom? And she just whips, just cracks the whip over his back. And you can see, essentially, he's just falls onto the ground, bleeding from his back, just painfully. Yeah, just utterly in shock and pain. It's like, you can see, where the wound was, there's this, because the whip itself is blue, and when it came cracking down, you can see that there's this residue blue energy on the back of him. You can see all of his muscles that are around it start to tense up in agony. The wound itself doesn't actually look too detrimental, but it you can see that he's just locked in place, almost like he's having a seizure.
Excellent job, madam.
Page 73 for an Araness. Uh, oh, also, he takes a 3d8 poison damage as well.
He might be dead.
So after the tensing up from the muscles, you can see his like hands just kind of clasp onto the ground, digging deep into the stonework. You can see part of his nails are breaking, and blood starts to pour out of his hands. And he just leans forwards, lurching, and just collapses into the ground. She pulls back the whip with this silver line, like pointed arrow at the end of it. Just kind of keeps it snapped very tight in front of her. So if I'm to understand, this man released some slaves without authorization.
Yes.
And what part did you play in this? How did you
I-
know of his affair?
I saw him as I was leaving my duty.
And what duty was that?
I work for Ilinara in the archives.
Her eyes gleam as she looks forwards at you. Perhaps I'll have a word with Eleanor in the future. Best stay out of our way, ma'am. Otherwise you'll result in the same fashion as this individual.
Wait, one last thing. I have a question for you.
An interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Oh goody. 16.
Generally, slaves stay silent until spoken to, but you have this presence about you.
I've
I'll
heard
allow
that
a question.
before.
I'll allow a question. What is
Where
this?
can I get food?
Food.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I forget that you, piddly creatures desire sustenance. We don't acquire too much, produce in the Nine Hells, especially the first layer. A lot of times, those that travel here, not as slaves, bring their own. As, us devils do not require too much of that sustenance. Your best luck would be this individual right here, and she kind of points to the now dead man on the ground. She clasps her hands together.
I've done some despicable things in my time. And you know what? This probably isn't the worst. And I put him in the bag.
Okay, so you just kind of grab him and stuff him in the bag of holding, and the woman gives you a glance. So am I to understand that you were left with your possessions?
Oh, no, this isn't mine. This is, the guy who is now in the bag. It's his bag.
She gives you a glance, peering deep into your face. And there's a few moments where there's almost just silence. You can actually hear one of the slaves behind her just going... almost like in anticipation of another murder sitting in front of him. Then she leans back. Well, I suppose that if you stay silent about what you've seen here, then we'll be on our way, and we'll just not speak of this. She kind of picks up the man. Oh no, you put him in the bag of holding. Never mind.
He's in the bag.
Yeah,
yep.
he's in the bag. She takes her whip, lassos back around the woman, pulls taut, and all the chains that are in between all of them. Oh no, they're not chained down. These are different. She just kind of pulls taut. The two remainder slaves behind her just kind of follow. She starts to walk away from you, heading towards the bigger building.
Not good. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I guess I'll follow, but not like close to them.
Okay.
Because I assume that's where I have to go anyway, so.
Okay, make a stealth check. Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just following behind him?
Just following
Okay.
at a safe distance.
Okay. As you're just walking behind some of the same imp that essentially got the black chip stolen from him, or as he kind of gave it up with no real recognition from the Arandes. You can see he's also starting to follow behind, further behind you as well. He's about like maybe 50 feet behind, and you start making your way back to the big building once again. She starts taking up the steps, and she snaps her fingers, and the lasso just kind of like uncoils around the woman.
Mm-hmm.
I have some business to attend to. You three stay here. She kind of looks at you in the far distance. I have some business to take care of. And she goes inside. Or starts making her way inside. There's a lot of steps up to this building.
Well, I will... I will get close to the slaves. Close-ish.
So as you kind of approach the slaves, the three of them look at you, and after you get within essentially close conversation earshot, the woman that was lassoed up goes, "What the hell's wrong with you?
Many things.
That guy did nothing. You deserve that."
I mean, I probably deserved it, but I'm still here. So, question for you all. Where do I sleep?
We just got here. The two other, the two
helpless.
guys that are behind her, also kind of like look at you with this very confused like glance, as you have just gotten one of the other prisoners murdered, completely without any of his choice or regard, and stuffed him into a bag, and then followed behind them. They're kind of you get this very quick feeling they're pretty scared for their life right now.
Well, I reach into the bag and grab the guy's arm, and then I wave at them with his hand.
You're animal. So you reach into the bag and you think about the dude. So you just reach around, you feel him, and you kind of reach for his arm and pull him out. He's pretty heavy, so you just kind of like yank him out. As you pull out the arm, the two guys that are behind the woman just kind of flinch backwards and just like cower down onto their knees, just like looking away from you. The woman is surprisingly unabated, completely like not perturbed by this gesture that you make. Would you put that away? Do you want to get us all killed?
Let me think about it.
That includes you.
I scratch my chin with the guy's hand.
This is the weird side that I was talking about, audience. So you scratch your chin in you put it in a pose like you're kind of just in the thinker position, looking down.
Yes. Maybe. No. Just myself. Maybe. I mean, I don't know where to get food. Do you know where to get food? You died because I don't know where to get food.
You died because I don't know where to get food. As you kind of just say that, in the back of your mind, you hear Anna come like voice out, "I can make food, you idiot."
You should have said something like maybe 10 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, my mind's a little bit occupied at this moment. I have a lot that I think about in this brief instance.
Why are we all hot and clammy? What did you do? Don't answer that.
The voice goes silent. As the woman in front of you, you can kind of clearly tell now that you've been talking to her for some time. All three of these individuals are human. She's very tanned, or she has like darker skin, and she just kind of has this very slight, more southern accent to her. I don't understand what you're trying to do here, but we need to really, really, really calm down. Aight?
Yes, you do need to calm down. I am quite calm, I can assure you. Look at me.
As
Is
you
this
are
the
holding
face of someone who isn't calm?
As you kind of like hold up the hand. Is this a face of someone who isn't calm? You just kind of wave the hand around, and you kind of like put it into a point to point at her for a brief moment, and right.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't know who you are, but you really need to just stop what you're doing here and let us live. We don't even know you, and you killed a dude. We don't need anything to do with you. You clearly look like a prisoner yourself, and she's pointing at the metal arm brand that was essentially just melded into your skin previously.
Mm.
And the 4-digit essential barcode that was also planted into you.
You know what? You're right. It's like I'm just waking up in this hellland for the first time in, since we got here. Since I got here. I put the hand back in the bag and leave.
Okay. So do you go back down the passageway that you were before?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you kind of do that, you can see the imp individual. He's just kind of like still kind of skulking around. He's not trying to stay hidden from you, but he's just kind of skulking around, looking at you, looking back up to the big building. And he doesn't move when you're kind of approaching. Just kind of looking at you, giving like curious glances up at the big building.
I'll look at him, looking at me, looking at him, looking at me. And then I'll look at him some more, and then I'll head towards him.
Okay, so you keep heading towards him.
Yes.
You're basically now. Is there anything you wanted to lead off with saying, or what?
Put her there, friend, and I offer the guy's hand.
Give me your bag.
No. Give me your obedience.
Clearly don't know your place.
Do you?
I'm above you, cretin.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your bag.
Look at you. I'd say burn in hell, but,
I can have you murdered.
So can I.
I have very powerful friends.
I'm sure you do. Can I make an insight check to see if he's bullshitting me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go to roll to see if you believe him or not.
9.
9? I don't know what an imp's charisma is.
I imagine decent.
It depends, because he rolled decently. We'll find out. Deception is +4. Yeah. So you get the feeling that he's got some pretty powerful friends. You saw him give that black chip to the Aaron Yes, who didn't murder him. You get the feeling that he's probably actually made through some bribery some pretty large amount of much more powerful friends than what he is.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, I can't give you the bag, but do you want something better than the bag?
Fine. Give me something of much better value.
What do we have in the bag?
You have the bag of holding page up, right? We don't really have a whole lot of... Oh my god, you weakling. We only have a pearl necklace that's worth 120 gold pieces. We have some holy water. A bunch of wooden shunts. A dark mask. A sewing kit. some daggers that are +1, that corporealism bell that we made, or that we took off of that person, a bunch of books on languages and teleportation circles, a human tooth, and some tree of life tree sap.
I reach slowly into the bag.
Oh, and also 2 dead bodies. Probably should mark those.
I ponder my options.
2 dead old dude. 2 dead individuals.
I lock eyes with him. Just looking him dead in his disgusting little demonic face.
Yeah, he's got like a pretty tattered, like, rag clothing on. Pretty much looks like Dobby. But, then he's got these crude, pretty elongated horns that reach down from the top of his head down to the back of his neck. Almost like dreadlocked hair. But it just curls backwards and it kind of flop around. He's got a pretty sickly tail. He's not bigger than you. He's actually probably fairly smaller. He's just like he's just a few feet off the ground.
I pull out the holy water.
Okay.
Now you see, this is thrice cursed by a powerful witch, and it will instantly maim anybody who you throw it at. I offer it to you for the low price of forgetting we ever met.
Anyone. We'll kill them.
Yeah, definitely. Instantaneously. In horrific agony.
Make a deception check. Because it'll hurt them. Probably won't kill them. Probably not the people he's thinking of.
That is a 19.
Ooh, his insight's not very good. It's really not very good.
Fine. Give it to you.
And
I give him the holy water.
He kind of snatches it out of your hand, kind of cusping it like he's worried that you're gonna like try to take it back from him. Kind of like uncorks it, smells a little bit.
Actually, can we discuss business?
Kind of tucks it, side satchels it, trying to keep it hidden from everyone.
What do you want?
What do you want?
I want your back.
I mean, we've already been over this. What do you want that belongs to other people besides me?
So how does hell establish creatureism again? It's they get better tiers, right? And they actually can like essentially evolve into different things. Is that how that works?
Yes. They accumulate favors from other people, other fiends and whatnot, I think.
Right, so
eventually once they amass enough, they can go up to the next tier.
Right, so he can go to like a essentially a devil instead of being an imp.
Yeah, the next highest trash tier.
Yeah, so like a spined devil.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to not live like lowly trash like you.
I don't want to live like lowly trash like you.
Well, you are.
I mean, yes, but I don't want to be.
There's someone I need to kill. I was told by my...
Oh god, I'm blanking on the word now. Oh no, my brain. I can't gather the word.
mistress. My mistress.
God, my brain's melting slowly.
Slowly, it must be the heat of hell.
Oh my god, it's the heat of Minnesota.
Oh, close enough.
God, it's humid. Anyways.
There's this, but I don't need you for that anymore. I have this.
And kind of like tings with his long, elongated, like red nail, just ting ting. Slaps
But
on the side.
would you want to use that for someone as lowly as your mistress or someone much more powerful?
I'm listening.
I say you hold on to that in case of emergency or an overpowering foe. I don't know much about the Hells, obviously. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be here.
You also want to be talking to someone of a higher stature than you.
We're discussing business. I'm sure you discuss business with your mistress.
Kind of see he actually gets like a little bit boiled up angry.
Get on with it.
I take care of your mistress. And then you owe me.
You think that a lowly cur like you could kill my mistress?
Have you heard of a vampire?
The fuck is a vampire?
God.
He's not a very intelligent individual. And I don't think vampires usually go to the Nine Hells.
Probably not. A vampire is the most disgusting, strongest creature you've ever seen. They are nearly impossible to kill. They can kill you by looking at you. And I managed to kill one with my bare hands. And a spoon.
And a spoon. Make a deception check. With advantage, I'll say, because he's an idiot. he's very not, oh my god. You're probably good.
27?
2. He's not a very intelligent man. Not a very intelligent man. Especially this one. You can actually kind of see kind of like cowers slightly before, where he was feeling pretty okay with his stature, talking to you in such a way, kind of doesn't want to die and go and fall below another stat. He clearly...
Actually, if a infernal being dies in the Nine Hells, it dies forever.
Really? I thought that, like, if, for instance, like, if a pit fiend were to die and then come back, wouldn't it just lose his stature? You'd have to, like...
If they die anywhere else but the Nine Hells, they come back, and I think that's how it works, but if they die in the Hells, they're permanent. Like, forever.
Oh, I suppose that it works the same way like Fey creatures. They don't actually, like, die in the material plane. They just go back to the Fey world.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Then let me redact that information.
And what do I get out of this? You kill my mistress, and then what?
Well, I assume... Well, you wanted her dead. You tell me.
I didn't want her dead. I was talking about somebody else. My mistress gave me that order.
Wait, who do you want dead?
This bearded man.
Child's play. I don't know. You get praise from your mistress. I'm assuming you made a similar deal to the one we're making now. Do I have to pull up the chalkboard?
The fuck's a chalkboard?
Oh! It's a board that you use chalk to write on. It's like a book, but a board.
I don't read much. A lot of books just burst into flames here.
I imagine.
Oh, actually, this dude's insight was +3. Well, still, I don't think a 5 was going to do it, so...
You never know. Slightly closer.
I mean, hey, it's better than a 2.
Then what do you get out of this?
a favor from you. We've been over this. We're going in circles now. You get a favor from your mistress. I get a favor from you. And maybe
Favors all around the board.
I keep the bag. And we become business partners.
Fine. But I do not know you. I will not be giving you aid.
That's fine. I don't know you either. But I will give you aid because, well...
You have no other option.
I'm more devilish than you.
I mean, you are a tiefling. But isn't a tiefling just like a half-devil?
Even, maybe less.
Oh god, it means that half-elven, half-tiefling woman is like an eighth devil.
A mess.
It's just a thing. Okay.
He's in the monument. That's where he works.
Am I just allowed in there?
No. You need to have purpose. If you don't have purpose, or a written agreement from a mistress such as herself, or another, you won't even get past the gates before they slaughter you.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
The fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, I'm not going to bring this up to my mistress, because then she'll just kill me.
Who is your mistress?
Let me go to the page quick of our hell-paged hierarchy.
Melzin.
Okay, thank you. What is your name?
We don't know each other, remember?
Shit, you're right.
Did you just delete the picture?
No?
Oh, it vanished.
It's there.
It's not on my screen. Yeah, fuck.
Scroll down.
What, you hit enter? Did you make it on its own page? What does the matter with you? Protozoa?
It's where you belong.
You're an animal. Imps? Question mark. So we're adding to this list as we go on. Got it. Okay, I wasn't sure.
We might as well.
Might as well. True. Alright. What was your question? I totally missed out. Oh no, I answered your question.
Yes, you did. You're right. How do I find you?
When you're finished, I'll be here.
Nice. I'd shake your hand, but I don't want to catch whatever it is you have.
I have this bottle, you better be afraid.
I'm very afraid. Quivering. You should also be afraid. I can murder you with a spoon.
Kind of like steps a few feet back and then starts to trudge off back to where he was posted before, looking back at you every so often.
I wave at him with the dude's hand.
So he looks back and you pull out the dude's hand once again. His arm's still like inside the bag, but you just kind of pull out that single portion and wave to him. Just looks back and starts moving ever so faster. Very much so like a monkey, just trudging on all fours, making its way there.
Creepy. I don't like him at all.
He clearly doesn't like you.
Good. Purpose. I require purpose. Are there any powerful looking demons, devils around?
Plenty. Make a perception check. Actually, make an insight check just to see, because there's all sorts of people. You're not necessarily sure what the stature is, especially with your hell knowledge before. You're not necessarily sure which ones are more powerful than the others. You can definitely see that there's a few like bearded individuals, some that have like these protruding spikes poked out of it, some that look like they're almost made of like bone and almost just look dead anyways, but they're around. You see some like blue devils as well.
Very good. 15.
15. There's plenty of powerful devils here that are around you. Most of them are just still walking with a purpose. You actually get the feeling with that insight check that most people here don't just move around. They got a lot of purpose to their step, and they just keep going and going and going. So you see like a few individuals that have like these barbs poked out of them. They're not super powerful. You get this feeling that if there were more of them, they'd definitely be more of a problem. You see one that's got these like disgusting, like beard snake like barbs that are just poking out of him. And he just looks around with these dead red eyes, just glancing at everyone. He's fairly strong. There's one that's got just these bone, that's just basically made of bone, and is let me double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's what a bone devil looks like.
Big and bony.
Yeah, they're not fun. Yes, it's just pale white. He's got like these disgusting, like white wings behind him. He's incredibly powerful. He's like lurching on top of a building, just like glancing around, and his like arms just flap outwards, and he just launches upwards, starts to fly through the air. You see a lot more of like the spiny individuals, but apart from that, there's not much else that's nearby.
Well, shit. I don't really want to engage with another one. Purpose.
You see a bunch of imps still, as well.
They're worthless. I need purpose. I start walking around like I have a purpose. Just in a circle. So I have nowhere to go.
Okay. So you start walking around in a circle. You quickly remember that the imp told you that the bearded man was at, or the bearded individual that he has to kill is at what he called the monument. Not necessarily sure what that is, but you do recall that being, as it was only a few minutes ago that he told you. At this time as well, you're circling around, walking with questionable purpose. You see the Aaron Yes has also came back out of the building and is walking back towards her 3 other slaves, looking around, almost like she's looking around for you.
I attempt to blend in.
Okay, I mean you are red, so you are a tiefling individual. So go ahead and roll a stealth check.
21.
Okay. She had advantage because as she kind of goes up to the 3 other ones, you can see that they kind of point in your general direction. Let's see here. What's the perception? Oh, they don't actually have a... Important question. Does telepathy need sight?
I don't know.
That would be a very important question. Well, regardless.
As the sitting DM, make an executive decision.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna say it probably does.
Alright.
So she looks, glances around, doesn't see you immediately. They go back to talking to the 3, and you can see the one woman's just like doing a bunch of hand expressions, and after some time, the Aaron Yes just wraps her around in the blue whip again, and they just start to move back towards, up, down the passageway. Not towards you, in the opposite direction.
I'll wait till they pass by, and then, with purpose of murdering a dude, I will walk towards the building that they came from.
Okay, back to the big building that you came from.
Yes.
Okay, so you make your way back up to the steps. You make your way pretty easily up the stairs and into the passage. Once again, are you opening the doors and just going inside?
Yep.
Okay, you go inside. You can see still bustling, crazy busy. Plenty of people here. You do see the incubi walking here and there as well.
The one from before?
Yes.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll walk towards him.
Okay. So you make your way towards him. He as you kind of like walk to him with purpose, he looks at you. Oh. I'm glad that we got to meet up once again. This must be fate. By the way, that's the stopwatch.
Good.
I just realized that the stopwatch for some reason is displayed in my headset, so you probably can't hear that.
I heard something.
Yeah, the timer did go off. I'm going to do it with my phone from now on, so that way it also picks up on the mic, but I just realized it picked up in my headphones. Do you wish to continue your venture, or are you good?
I have a question to ask, and I can't trust Anna. I'm going to try to hold on.
Okay, so then that's a wisdom, or no, just straight D20.
Straight roll.
Straight D20 rolls. 12.
14.
You're good. You got 5 more minutes.
Oh God, good.
Let me put the timer on quick first. All right, go.
Why, hello. Yes, definitely fate. Definitely not stalking you because I am a stand-up slave.
It wouldn't be the first.
Oh, I throw up from my mouth a little bit, just a little bit.
just enough to swallow it back.
Yep. Yes, I'm looking for a man in particular. Besides you, you sexy devil.
Mm. And what man would this be?
A bearded man who works in the monument.
Well, there's many that work in the monument, but, well, I suppose it's more they work for others inside the monument. There is only one that I know of that is actual, secretarian inside of the monument.
I have a favor to ask of you.
And I have a favor in return if so desired.
I think I know what your favor is, but you might as well ask first.
No, by all means. If this is a favor that I'm willing to make, then I'm going to ask mine in response.
I have been tasked with murdering said bearded man.
By whom do you wish to do this favor for?
If I tell you this, you have to do a favor for me.
That's not how this works, little one. My apologies.
Sorry, I'm trying to play you. I'm sorry. I apologize. That small imp out in the yard.
Ah, Krishnov. You should
yes.
know that he is quite an idiot.
He sure comes across like one.
Do not be played by an idiot.
We've come to an agreement. But if I don't complete my part of the agreement, am I okay?
Well, he's not going to be able to do much about it, is he?
If he attempts, will you help me?
Help you in what way? In murdering someone that is such beneath me?
When you put it like that, I guess no. Thank you for your time, I think.
No, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Who are you?
That is a complicated question. Very complicated. Almost.
I gathered that as the one that I'm talking to is not currently under my gaze.
You would be incorrect. I'm a man of many mysteries. Woman of many mysteries.
Oh no, believe me, I can understand. Everyone has those secrets. I only wish to know more about such a luscious individual.
Constitution saving throw to see if I vomit.
I mean, the dude's very attractive. But sure, go ahead and make a willing Constitution saving throw.
19.
Oh, you're good, easily. Especially because you never know what might happen with someone like his stature.
Yes, I am indeed roommates, quote unquote, with the woman that you met earlier. And she is an idiot.
Your roommates?
Yeah. Do you want to see something?
You have my attention.
And I will forfeit the rest of my time.
Oh god. Okay. So. Okay. Alright then. My god. I was not expecting you to go up to him. Just we switch sides again.
All right. Let me take a drink of water before we continue.
That's fine. I'm gonna get my Dr. Pepper. Just in this time as we're kind of preparing to switch sides, we're gonna go over just a little bit of like how this is working. So every hour in real life, we switch positions forcibly. If the person who's in control wishes to stay just to finish a few things, they have a few options. One, they can attempt to maintain control, in which it's just straight D20 rolls, no modifiers, nothing. And then if they succeed, they get 5 more minutes. If they don't, then they forcibly switch out. After those 5 minutes, they can have an additional 5 minutes if they can keep another contested roll, except this time they have disadvantage on their roll. After that point, after those 5 minutes, they will be forcibly removed, no matter what, no rolls attached, nothing.
Yes.
As well as that, I went over the... No, I didn't go over the feature. So, being a split personality individual, we came up with, since we're completely different class domains and everything like that, we have our own different class features, especially with him being a rogue. It becomes a little bit different. So, we have a feature called Diverse Minds, where we will be allowed once per day for each of us to allow the other person to have a specific class feature for that hour of real life. So, or the remainder of that time. We haven't necessarily figured out the tweaks to it yet. We might have to edit that here and there if it becomes a little bit too ridiculous later on. But that what they can do with that is to give them a single class feature, or well, let me just actually specify what that means. They can give them the spells known from a specific spell slot level of that class. So, like, if I were to give my... Because he's a first level rogue. He doesn't know 4th level spell slots. If I gave him my knowledge on 3rd level spells, he would have his own spell slot levels, like known spells, and he would have mine as well. It's also another important notion of make. We share spell slots. So while one person could be absolutely just blowing through them, the next person might not have a whole lot to work with. Same thing with all the other class features like channel divinities and all that stuff. So there is still like some kind of conservative. It's not like we have 2 classes in the same person. Otherwise that'd be a little bit ridiculous, like having 8 first level spells and all that crap. So
an easier way to think about it is that we are literally the same person who is, quote unquote, 2 different people.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to know about it. So, like, I know 4th level spells and spell slots. Jester doesn't. Jester can't use 4th level spells normally, but I could give him the option to if I gave him my spell slot known page and everything like that. That also can attest to like abilities. So like I'm not. Anna is definitely not adept in acrobatics or anything like that. Jester could give proficiency to it. So his knowledge
if it ever
of it
comes up, which it never does.
Not usually for skills. It's usually for more important class features like his channel divinity.
Duplicity.
Yeah, invoke duplicity, which is very useful and probably far more useful than most of my knowledge-based ones. in combat-wise.
Definitely combat, but otherwise, probably not.
No. But yeah. Other than that, everything else is... We're essentially one person. Another thing to know is Anna is a cleric. We're both clerics. Her spellcasting ability, though, is intelligence-based. We made a homebrew ruling for the knowledge domain where they are based off of intelligence rather than wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
So my saving throw will still be wisdom, but my intelligence is fairly higher than my wisdom is. So with that homebrew ruling in, my spells and everything like that are a little bit different. I didn't roll high enough to beat his anyways, so it didn't affect too much. You good on your end?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm all set.
All right, good. Let me just answer this one text quickly.
No worries. I'm just gonna go through our spells quick. Our bag of holding and specify that we have an old dead dude that's a husk of a man with no blood and a dead fat dude.
I have the bag of holding page now open because somebody...
Old man husk.
Old man husk. My favorite kind of husk.
Fat dead dude.
All right. I think I am prepared. More or less.
Okay.
So, Anna, you take over the body again, regain control, and you find yourself standing in a very similar situation to when you last left. You are standing in front of the same incubus that you were recently charmed by. He is looking into your eyes, and you see a slight sparkle in his. Make a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy, this is a whopping number of 3. So 7.
7. You were still charmed by him, believe it or not.
I believe it.
He looks at you. Well, I'm waiting. You were going to show me something?
We meet again. Of sorts. Hello.
Oh my. Why, hello. It's you again.
It is I again. And I'm basically blushing.
You are quite adorable.
I've also broken my stupid facade because of it. My incredibly ditzy facade that I gave for the one Araness on the way here.
I am so pleased.
Well, for now, but...
Do you know where you are?
I do. I'm in the archive, or at least the building that has the archive. I'm not too knowledgeable about the 9 hells. I could always use a tutor.
He smirks and averts his eyes for a split second, and then locks his eyes back onto yours. You are in the memorial.
The memorial?
Yes.
And what does this memorial memorialize?
Well, he gets really close to you. He goes to grab your chin. I assume you don't try to stop him.
I don't think I can, because I'm charmed, right?
I think I'd be inclined to let him.
Yeah, I think I have to. Essentially.
All right.
280 something.
He gently grabs your chin like one would a lover. Smiles at you. It, of course, memorializes pain and suffering. Would you like to see?
I'm...
Of course you would.
Yes. Oh boy. Going off on a fucking adventure. An incubus adventure. Ooh boy.
Yes,
Normally wouldn't be that
please.
bad for, a party.
Follow me.
I definitely follow him.
He takes you down the hallway to the far end, opposite of where we came in, to a large iron double door. The door stands at least 12, 13 feet tall.
Is it the same obsidian door where the archive was, or is it a different one?
Different door. Where the archive's door was rather plain in design, with simple reliefs on it, this door appears to have, like, depictions of people being whipped and hung and, tortured horribly. Very, very good.
I love it.
He opens the door for you and gestures for you to enter first.
What do I see? Well, I'm clearly walking in now, but because he gestured
as you step into the room, it is a large circular room with I don't know what you call it. When the center of the floor is lower than the outside ring? You know what I mean?
The center of the room is...
It's like, you walk into the room and it's circular. So there are circular stairs that circle the inside of the room down to a lower level.
A pit?
Kind of, but it's not impossible to get out of.
Well, right. No, a pit just means an indentation into the ground.
Fine. Yes. Cut this part.
It's not a bottomless pit.
Not yet.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
In the center of the room, you see a Iron Maiden that is open. And you see a slave surrounded by a couple bone devils, and they are trying to shove him into the Iron Maiden. The floor in the center of the pit is filled with blood, and there are cheering devils and demons and whatnot circling the show.
Oh. So am I to understand that this is a... sacrificial room?
You're adorable when you try to think. No. What would you call it? Entertainment?
You all have a very different idea of entertainment than I.
He smiles very, very evilly. All teeth.
Am I even able to make an insight check to see if I'm about to get destroyed here?
Yes. You're charmed by him, but you would still be out for your own
safety. I think it means I have to follow his verbal commands and telepathic thoughts and stuff. That is, what's my insight? Not very high, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, that's okay. That's a 12.
12 is enough. He is not looking to sacrifice you or anything. He's trying to, you think he might be trying to unnerve you or scare you maybe? You're not quite sure.
Oh, well, that's not gonna work. I waved off being branded with an iron fucking bracelet or bracket basically on my shoulder. I'm probably not gonna be fazed by this.
He takes you to a seat, just like a low bench, and you sit beside him.
How big is this room?
Probably 60 feet across.
So 60 feet in diameter. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this building is big.
Big building. Well, I assumed it was big from the way you made it.
It was massive.
Okay, good.
Massive building.
You sit near the middle of the middle tier of the room. You take a quick look around and you see that the lower scum tier are closer to the center, whereas the higher ranking are sitting near the back wall.
Is there only is there any other Araness or anything, or is it just devils in here?
There is a couple Araness chatting amongst themselves. You can see them laughing. Make a history check.
Oh, history check. Oh man, this is what I'm good at. Rolled shitty though. 16.
That's enough. You see a very, very, very large red scaly figure with large bat wings. At first, you just assume him to be some kind of large devil, but you look at him more closely and you realize that this is indeed a pit fiend. He is hunched over with his arms on his legs, and he is watching with anticipation.
Now, I can't remember what my role for knowing what was going on in the Nine Hells was. Do I know the stature of what a pit fiend would be at?
Make another roll. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Another 16.
You know a fair amount. You know that pit fiends are pretty close to the top of the chain, if not at the very top, underneath the Arc Devils.
I'm gonna lean closer to the incubus. We didn't gather his name, did we? Or did we? Oh no, we did. It was
yes.
It was Sazith.
Yes. Sazith.
Sir, so who is that individual over there, the very strong and almost overbearing presence of a person over there?
Did someone else catch your eye? I must be losing my edge.
Oh, of course not in that way, but he's very overbearing of an individual. He gives off a presence, you understand?
Yes, well, that is indeed, I believe, they all look very similar. I apologize. I do believe that is Ericos.
I don't know who that is.
Someone you do not want to upset. Let's put it that way.
Well, I wouldn't want to upset anyone in this room.
I'm sure. So as you are talking with him, you can see the Bone Devils are trying to shove this guy into the Iron Maiden, and he is like screaming and pleading and crying.
Do I know this dude?
No.
Okay, cool. Then I don't care.
He is completely unfamiliar to you.
I don't care. If I did, I would make it worse. So.
He attempts to get away. He manages to shove away from them, but he slips in the blood. The Bone Devils snatch him up and shove him into the Maiden and close it.
Oh.
And you hear screaming.
Gag.
Horrible, horrible screaming. Ooh. And after a couple minutes...
minutes? Oh god, I forgot how bad an Iron Maiden actually is.
Well, technically you were supposed to be able to stand in them for like hours.
Yeah, so this is actually probably better.
But they like threw him in, so...
Oh, that's right, Iron Maidens don't puncture incredibly important arteries. Oh nope. God, they're horrible.
The screaming subsides, but nobody seems to leave. And Sazeth leans into you. This is my favorite part. When they pretend to be dead, to fool us. Oh, it's so good.
I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna glance around to see if there's anyone. Do I see the Araness that I saw before?
Make a perception check.
She would have the black cloak of whatever it was, the one that let us use Dimension Door once.
The cloak of the Montebank.
Yes. She would still have that. Oh no, I missed my dice tray, I'm an idiot. Perception is not very good. I don't like it. Well, I mean, it's pretty precious. Perception... 11.
11. You look around. The two Araness are the only other ones in the room. You look closely at them, but you can't be sure if they're wearing your cloak or not.
She said in the center of the city was where we would meet, so I don't think she would be here. Okay, that's fine.
You can see Heracos is basically on the edge of his seat. His eyes are wide, and his wings are fully elongated. And he kind of just like... His presence is very noticeable.
Is he on the other side of me, or is he, like, near me?
Almost directly across from you.
Oh, boy. God. Okay. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna mimic him, I suppose. No, I'm not gonna mimic him. I'm just gonna look at the Iron Maiden. Try not to glance around anymore.
After several more minutes, it gets rather dull, and everybody gets kind of bored. Ericos is still on the edge of his seat, and he's like, "Give him a shake! Shake it!" And the Bone Devils acknowledge, and they stand on either side of the Iron Maiden and begin to rock it back and forth.
Oh, God. Is there any sound?
The man begins to scream,
no.
very, very loudly.
No! Oh, I feel bad.
Eventually, they knock it over. And the screaming stops.
Oh.
They open up the doors, and they pull out this desiccated corpse covered in puncture wounds and just drenched in blood. And Eriko stands off his seat, starts clapping and yelling loudly. "Yes! That's what I paid for, yes! Very good, yes!"
Wait, you paid for this? We just walked in.
I mean, he's kind of an idiot, so maybe he did pay for it. I don't know.
I'm gonna put my notes, kind of an idiot. Kind of an idiot. So zip. Okay.
Well, that was an exciting show. I'm sure you would agree.
It's something I've never seen before.
Hmm.
That is for sure. My accent keeps changing. Damn it. I gotta remember it.
It's all over the place. What is wrong with you?
I'm like dying today, I guess. I don't know. I usually can keep it up pretty well, but it's been so long, I guess.
He does the whole fake yawn thing and puts his arm over you.
Well, I mean, I let it happen, so. Anna's enamored, so.
Your roommate, I think he called himself, said that you needed help to murder a bearded man.
Oh, yes, this very paltry individual is seeking to reach a higher standard, some favor with his mistress, and required help. In your words, he's kind of an idiot, and my roommate was able to deceive him, give him this this vial that is pretty much useless to him. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that you can tell we're a very special individual and don't seek to be in our current standing of the city. So we're more or less using him to reach a higher point of standard amongst us.
Well, you are indeed very special. And he gives you a devilish half smile.
Ugh, I'm getting chills down my spine. Ugh, gross.
I fucking hate him.
Well, thank you.
So, you were performing this task for checking the page because I already forgot his name.
Oh.
Krishnov?
Krishnov? Yes. He, in my current feat, I'm debating whether or not to even help him. Because it would be more or less, I feel, like you said, don't be swayed by an idiot, or don't be bested by one.
You're learning so quickly. Yes.
I'm quite a smart individual.
Oh, I am sure you are. It would be not in your best interest to work for him. Instead, work for me. Oh, come now. Think of all the fun we could have.
I'm just just looking at the list here. Well, I wouldn't know the list, so I don't know why I'm looking at it. I don't know what people work for or anything like that, so... Well, I mean, I have to say yes, right? Like, I can't say no, so...
What did you want to say? If you were not charmed, what would you say?
To work for him... You didn't tell me to work for him, so I have a little bit of a loophole here. And what would I be doing if I were to work under you?
Well, naturally, you would do whatever I asked of you. He looks at you hungrily.
God, gross. My only concern is Ilinara still expects a lot out of me. I don't want to disappoint her either.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Persuasion is not my strong suit, but I will do that. I will do the best. Actually, persuasion is better than my deception, so...
Oh, well.
Oh, actually, they're the same. Never mind. With advantage. 16.
Oh, you hardly beat him.
I'm gonna change my dice because those are two really annoyingly bad rolls. I've got another light blue sparkly dice I'm gonna change out for. This one's in a bad place.
He looks at you.
Much better.
Ponders for a moment. You can see that he looks like into the middle distance, just completely unfocused. He nods slowly. Of course, you are right. It would be, well, rather rude of me to steal my sister's favorite new toy.
I had a feeling you two were related. You kind of have this, almost perfect stature about you two.
We have been called by many to be pedigree, but 'tis all lies, I can assure you.
Oh, I agree with you. I bet they were all just out of envy.
Naturally.
I'll throw up in my mouth in real life. God.
In your mind, you can hear Jester singing loudly, trying to drown out the,
just
what he's saying.
It's another important note. We share sight and stuff, and hear and all that crap. So
yes,
one
we can
is
also
not
hear
without
each
the
other's chains of thought.
Yes, we can basically
from
speak
time to
telepathy to each other.
Yes. Wow. I'll leave it up to you. I will, of course, help you if you choose to murder him. If not, well, no harm done.
You said that there was only one who actually worked in the, what was it? Where was it again? In the monument.
Yes. That must be the, slave scribe.
What was that? You kind of cut out on my end.
It must be the slave scribe.
Slave's bribe?
Scribe.
Scribe, thank you.
Yes. He is, rather new, I do believe.
Oh?
Arrived several weeks ago.
So if he were to, say, vanish, nobody would go too far awry.
Well, he does his job very well, so I'm sure his master would be very disappointed. And might seek some sort of retribution.
I see. Is that the same... Does this individual work under the same one that Kreshnov does?
No.
Quick question. Get to murder this individual.
Why did he ask you to kill this man, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, of course I don't mind your asking, especially in my charmed state. He wanted to become a higher statured individual. Evolve beyond his impish demeanor. And from there go into a better standing of the city. Much like I am, which is why I'm desiring to essentially steal that role from him. But murder might not be the best course.
Well, unfortunately, for a slave like you, rising the ranks is going to prove to be rather difficult.
Perhaps without friends. And I kind of, raise an eyebrow looking at him.
He gives you a very unnerving smile.
I wasn't expecting the response.
I do think I would enjoy being your friend.
God, we both are feeling so uncomfortable role-playing this dude. God. Okay. Back. Okay.
Yes.
Give me some time and I'll be able to come up with an answer. I might speak to Ilinara on this and elaborate with her.
Oh yes, of course. Tell her that we had a talk.
Oh.
She should be more receptive to you that way.
I'm sorry, what was that?
She should be more receptive to you that way.
What was the part before that? Because now the sentence doesn't make sense.
Tell her that we had a conversation.
Tell her we talked. Okay, that's what it was. I missed that part.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
Nope, you're fine. I just that was on my. I know you said, I just didn't hear it. My brain went out. Like I said, I'm apparently melting. My brain is melting from the Minnesota weather. Okay. So, if you don't mind, then I'm going to go and have a chat.
Of course.
I'm gonna leave the hall then.
As you leave, do you look back at him?
I'm gonna give a very delicate, dainty wave and a very provocative, seducing manner, like I seen Ilinara do.
That's terrible. He looks at you and smiles with a look on his face that would be more akin to a hunter looking at prey.
Gonna hurl, I swear. Oh my god, gross. Anyways,
he's gone now. Thank God.
Thank God. Let's fucking go talk to Ilinara, a female version of him.
Oh, good.
Actually, I should go and talk to her though, because if he goes and asks, then I'm gonna get screwed. I'm already charmed, so I don't think I can be charmed by another person. So I'm gonna go talk to Ilinara.
All right.
Actually, I saved, so I can't be charmed by her for a day, anyways.
Yes, that's correct. You did originally. Otherwise, you would have been dead.
Well, actually, we have enough health to survive one kiss, so.
We would have been brutally fucked up, but.
I mean, yeah, but we would still be alive. I can fix it, so.
True.
That one dude's dead as hell.
That dude is very dead.
You rolled to kill him, and I was just like, okay, this dude is you're saying, how much damage does this do? I'm like, you killed him. He's dead. This dude's not gonna live at all.
You never know. I could have rolled straight ones, and he might have survived.
He would have still been unconscious. The commoner dude would have still died.
Technicalities. All right. So you make your way back through this plaza, back to the archive. The door is closed, and you don't see anyone you recognize standing around the door.
Okay. I'm gonna knock twice and just call out, Ilinara.
from inside, you hear a muffled voice say, "Come in."
I'm gonna open. It's just me again, ma'am. I'm here to discuss something. I actually have some news.
News, you say? Oh my. Please close the door and come take a seat.
I'm gonna slightly close the door in a very gentle way. Is there actually a chair in front of her? In front of her desk?
She snaps her fingers, and in a blaze of hellfire, a steel chair appears.
Alright, well, I will sit down after being asked in a very polite manner. So I don't know if this is too much for me to say, but I spoke to your brother, Sazeth.
Ah, Sazeth, of course. Yes.
Sazeth. Let me correct myself then. That way I don't do that again. He offered me a position.
Did he?
But I've grown very fond of you in this room, and I don't wish to leave. I was hoping that you'd be able to for a lack of better words, keep me in as a slave here. I do my job very well, and I can command the extra troops, more or less. I'm falling back in my Din Anna phase.
This again. Please drop the act.
I suppose
you do us both a disservice.
That is very fair. It's not a side of me that I actually enjoy doing too much.
I admire the enthusiasm, but it serves you no good here.
Fair. I will say that I do enjoy that. What I did say was true, though. I do enjoy working here under you.
I am glad. I cannot say the same for your friend.
Oh, he's long gone. Do not worry for him. He was less of a friend and more of an acquaintance.
Even better. She stands up and walks around her large desk and leans up against the desk on your side.
Okay.
Crosses her arms and looks at you. Her wings extend outward. Yes. Well, I do believe I can trust you. As much as I can. You are a slave, after all.
Yes, ma'am.
I do think you could play quite well into our machinations.
What? I'm sorry.
I do believe you could play quite well into our machinations.
Machinations?
Plans.
Okay. Well, I can do what I can.
She runs one of her fingers along your horn.
Ugh.
One of your horns. I can tell you're disgusted.
Less of disgust and much more experiencing something new. I'm very secluded to myself. I don't.
Deception check.
It's actually true. She has had no sexual intercourse with any individual so far.
Wow.
She is not, well, maybe in her past life, but she's not, she's definitely manipulative, but she's never gotten to that point of desire.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I retract my statement. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to presume.
I
You
mean,
strike me as the sort who is...
I mean, she's not against doing that sort of thing. She's just never had to have to do that. Especially from a succubus. My apologies. I mean, they're the same role regardless, so...
No, you don't. No, you explained it. That's fine.
Okay.
Misunderstood what you had meant.
I mean, it was an 18 for deception anyways.
Oh, well, she's not going to figure it out. But regardless, I am sorry to say that I do not, how do you mortals say it, swing that way.
Oh.
I do like you, but that's as far as we are going to get.
Well, I appreciate the honesty.
No. Would you be willing to work for us? I know my brother can be overbearing. Very overbearing. Extremely overbearing.
He's a bit lustful, I'm sure, but nothing I haven't experienced before. Well, let me rephrase that. Nothing I've experienced before from normal folk.
Oh my.
But I think that this can be very beneficial for you, so I am more than willing to assist in anything that you desire.
Look at you. Wow.
Well, I know my current standing, and I don't need to try to fight for it.
You learned fast.
You have to survive here. I've seen what happened to that man. Another 2 individuals on my boat on the way here. One dove into a river of burning blood, and the other one was pushed into it because she was crazy and desired to go to the front lines.
In hell, the last thing you look for is, well, an early grave.
Can't help but feel like there's some joke behind that, but at the same time, it is very true. Irony of sorts, rather than joke.
There is a bit of a joke there. You see, if you die in the 9 hells, your soul doesn't get to leave.
Ah, so you really do not want to die here.
Mortals most of all. But you have She leans in very close.
Oh boy. That wasn't on you, that was for the Dr. Pepper. It went down the wrong throat. Down the wrong tube. It was awkward timing, but yeah.
You can count on our protection. Though if you do step out of line, we will have to kill you. I'm sure you understand.
Of course. Much like most of this realm, I suppose.
She smiles. Very good. Now, I don't have anything for you at the moment. It is rather late. I am rather tired.
I'm gonna look around. That's a very important notion. Do you know where slaves do rest, or do we just not rest and just keep working?
No, you have space. Slaves are usually sent to the lowest level.
That would make sense.
If you head left out of here, follow the staircase down, you should make it there with no problems.
Well, thank you for your generosity, and I'm glad that we can work together on this. Well, less of work together and me work under you both. But thank you for your time, and I think that you can, if your brother comes asking, then you'll be able to explain that much more than I.
Well, have a good night.
I bid you adieu, and I will stand up from the table and go to leave.
She does not say anything as you exit the room.
Okay. I'm gonna follow the path that she essentially designated.
Alright, so as you leave the archive, you hang a left, head down that hallway, to a very large spiral staircase. Like, we're talking... Oh, the staircase itself would probably be about 40 feet across. And there are 2 of them, like a double helix, that wind all the way down into the black void and all the way up into the sky.
Well, I'm gonna go down.
On the staircase, there are devils and demons aplenty. Not too many slaves at this level, especially at this hour. As you head further down, the devils begin to lessen in number and slaves become more plentiful. Eventually, you reach the lowest level, which is, well, by your standards, rather disgusting. The floor is covered in, like, residue and worn out clothing and just, like, scrap remnants of immeasurable objects and bones, maybe? I'm not quite sure. There are next to no devils down here, and there are many, many slaves. As you look around, it appears to be a foundation of sorts. There are 20-foot pillars, about 15 feet apart, in like a large grid formation. And in between each of the pillars is a arch, like an arched ceiling. As you look around, you see many, many slaves of all the races. Not too many orcs. There are a huge amount of cots and small fires and stuff. You can see several small groups of other slaves sitting around these fires, generally keeping quiet. Some of them are talking, but it's in very hushed tones.
And I don't see any devils or anything down here, or any imps?
No.
Do I see those two twins, or...
Make a perception check.
Okay. That's a 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. This place is extraordinarily large, and in the area that you can see, they don't appear to be there.
They found their way. If not, then my work will get a little more difficult. So you know what? That's fine, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to cast Locate Creature.
Wow. Look at you. Okay, how does this work?
So, describe or name a creature that's familiar to you. I'm going to describe the older sister one.
Okay.
Because the little sister, they're twins, so they're not really going to be too difficult either way. And as long as the creature is within 1,000 feet of you, I know its location. If the creature is moving, I know the direction of its movement. Yeah.
Yeah. So you cast Locate Creature, and sure enough, you know exactly where they are. And I assume you make your way towards them.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go find them.
All right. You find them sitting on two cots they pulled side by side, like beside each other.
Oh, so they are down here. Okay.
Yeah. They are rather quiet. They are eating out of small, like, wooden bowls that appear to be hand-carved and very hastily made. Inside of them appears to be some kind of gruel with chunks of questionably sourced meat. Some kind of thick sauce.
Well, hello there. Glad that we could find each other once again.
They both look at you, and then immediately look away. Go away, please.
I just want to explain something, and believe me or not, it's up to you. In this place, believing is something that can keep you alive. I'm two different people. The one that spoke to you before scared you away, and I can understand why. I'm the one that you work with when we were inside the archive. Archive?
Archive?
Oh my god. Kill me. just pit feed me right now. But I can assure you, I do know who you are. I know that we've worked together. And it's important that we keep this bond. Otherwise, well, I learned something very important. You do not want to die here.
I assume not. But She looks at you closely. Then she whispers into her sister's ear.
I'll lean back so that way I don't hear them. Okay.
I don't believe you were lying to us. You look and sound and move differently.
Like I said, we are very different individuals. Well, I didn't say that, but I said that I'm two different people. We're very different. He likes to joke around. He's very athletic and acrobatic and very flexible. But I'm more knowledgeable. Much smarter. Much more intelligent. Beautiful. A lot better than him in all regards.
In the back of your mind, you just hear a very quiet, "Hey, rude."
I thought that you were trying to lull out all the talk from the succubi and incubi. I'm surprised that you could hear me.
I mean, you haven't been talking to them for like 10-ish minutes.
Well, you know, you never know. Sir.
Burn in hell, Anna. Oh, wait.
We already are. But I'm here to help with you. Help with you. God, what is wrong with me? Ugh! My wordsmithing is just poor tonight. I'm here to help. Here to keep all three of us alive.
Well, we do appreciate the help. Do you know where we could get actual food? I'm not liking this.
That's where my next point was going to be made. Keep this on the hush, because otherwise I'm pretty sure we'll get in trouble. I'm going to look around. Is anyone listening in?
Make a perception check with advantage.
God, my rolls are just as bad as yours. 7.
7. You look around. There's not too many people around who could be eavesdropping. There are several small pockets of people who seem to be discussing things amongst themselves. There are a couple people sitting by themselves near you who are fiddling with small stuff they have. You do not believe that you are being eavesdropped upon.
Okay. Well, regardless, I'm going to lean in and whisper, I can make us much better food. It won't taste better. Well, actually, it'll taste like nothing, which is probably better. But I can do that tomorrow, not today.
As you finish the speech, a rather large man grabs you by the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Very quietly, though. He's not trying to make a scene. Food? You can make food?
I can. And I can make it a plenty. But only I can, and I have to be alive to do that.
Hey, I'm not here to threaten you. Okay?
I'm not saying you are. But I'm just making that note.
He pulls back and he puts his hands up. I'm not here to do anything. I'm hungry, okay? He extends his hand. My name is Ben.
Call me Anna.
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm gonna lean to the other two women. Sorry, my previous name was a complete lie. I was trying to make a character, but not be a specific, be very outgoing before.
The younger sister, younger by like
a few minutes,
30-ish seconds, rolls her eyes. And the elder is like, yep, that's completely fine. I do not care. At all.
Is this dude human?
He is human. He appears to be roughly the same age as you. He looks, judging by his muscle tone and skin color, he appears to be very, very tanned. You assume he might be a dock worker or a laborer of some variety?
Just a quick question. I know this is going to be annoying, but what's his number on near his, because it's the number on the bracelet, or is it on him?
It's on the armband.
It's on the armband.
He is number 77,331.
Alright, well that's not going to be, it's less useful now that it's on the armband. Okay.
He still has his hand up to shake yours, but he sees that you're not going to shake his hand.
I will shake his hand. I will go to shake his hand after he retracts it. Oh, I'm sorry, I was distracted.
He gives you a very sad smile and shakes your hand.
I can do it tomorrow. I can get food for us 4. But we need to keep it on the hush, because I'm sure that either everyone else around here is going to be demanding food, or more unruly types will hear about it.
Hey, Ben gets really close. Hey, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I got here, like, a month ago? I think it's been a month. I've lost track of the days. I haven't seen the sun in, well, a month. I'm, getting really tired of this,
gruel.
I think they call the dish sweet meat.
Sweet meat?
I don't want to know where it comes from. There's no animals down here. I'm scared to ask.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very pleasant. But, like I said, I could do it tomorrow. So, bear with it for now. When we wake up, I'll be able to help. Another important note. Just a quick question for you, Ben. What kind of work do you do here?
I'm a builder. I expand the city.
So the ones kind of paving the roads, working on the buildings and such?
Yes.
Well, you must be very capable if you've stayed here for over a month.
I'm very careful. I arrived here with my 2 brothers, and they both died in horrible accidents. Horrible accidents.
I'm gonna put up my my quotations. Accidents or accidents?
No, they were crushed by falling brick. They are very dead.
So actual accidents, got it. Sorry for the oh my god, my brain, what is the matter with me? Not insecurities, what is the word? Indecency. Sure, I'll use that.
There you go, that's close enough.
Yeah.
That's completely fine. I am so emotionally dead, I just don't care.
Well, at least you'll get a little bit better, right? And I'm gonna give 2 thumbs up and just give like a really kind of awkward smile.
He begins to cry.
Oh. As that happens, I'm gonna keep my pose. I'm gonna look to the 2 girls. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna cast meld into stone. This is stone, yeah?
It is stone.
I'm just gonna sink from my feet into the stone. Ooh, I'm gonna leave this conversation.
The younger twin, you hear her say, there was an extra bed right there for you. Whatever. Fine. Sleep on the floor like some kind of animal.
Before I sink in all the way, I'm like, I prefer to be more cozy. And that's when I just go bloop, like a water drop, just sink.
The other 3 talk for a while longer, and then eventually they go to sleep.
Okay, I wouldn't hear anything. Well, actually, I would hear with disadvantage.
Is there anything you would like to do?
Oh, I'm sleeping.
All right, straight to bed.
Yeah, I got nothing else I can really do. I mean, I could try to go kill that one dude, but...
All right.
Okay, while I'm trying to sleep, I'll just talk to Jester some.
All right.
So what do you think we should do with this bearded individual?
Well, I don't know what kind of power agreements have down here. But, I mean, if we don't kill him, are we going to get killed in return? Can these brother and sister help us? Will they help us? I don't know, Anna. I'm scared. I thought we came here to avoid all of the murder and mayhem and hide from those who tried to kill us.
You're the one that took the deal. Don't look at me.
You make a good point. But still, we're still here, in hell, as a slave.
We should be fine, because I think that this gives us a different opportunity. Rather than going and murdering this man, who, as we have learned, is doing a very nice job, deserves his position, and has clearly worked his way up to it. Why don't we go turn in Krishnov? Go tell the certain individual that they wanted to kill.
Oh, sneaky. I like it.
As such, we get favor with them. They clear out in a very clear nuisance. And we have protection from the two succubi/incubi individuals. We will be safe from that twiddly dude, and all we gain is more favor.
Sure. This is why you are the brains of the operation.
And you are definitely not the brawn, but you are the more brawn than I.
I offer you a compliment and you turn it in my face. This is why I don't like you.
Oh, you knew that was coming.
You hear silent sobbing.
Sobbing? Really? Oh, come now. You're gonna need to be stronger than that to live here. At least for some time. I will say, you're the one that decided to go here.
Did you really believe I was crying? It was all a ruse. You fell for it.
And this is why I hate you.
Oh. Stuck together forever. Just like old times, except now we're, in hell.
Much better than it was before, it seems, though, rather than the separation.
I suppose. Except we don't have money now.
I don't know what you mean. I still have this I can't pull it out of the bag because I'm part of a stone, but we have a pearl necklace and we have 2 dead bodies to pay with.
Who are we gonna sell them to?
You never know.
Alright, fine.
And I have, they can be very useful. I do recommend we keep them.
Who?
The two bodies.
Oh, the bodies.
I have a way of gathering information from them, like I did before.
Oh, last time you did that, we figured out one of our allies was trying to kill us all.
And that was important knowledge.
I mean, yes. But what are we gonna do with this dead fat man and the other guy?
The other guy, probably not so much. The dead fat man might actually know a few things, perhaps, about the Araness that took him.
Maybe.
Or what he was doing here to get trapped here, and we can use that to our advantage. Take his persona.
Oh, but our armbands will be wrong.
Our armband's number may be wrong, but that guy Ben had 73,000 or so. How many digits is our number as well?
Ours is 6.
6 digits?
Yep.
There is hundreds of thousands of numbers.
No, sorry, 7.
7? There is millions of numbers. Millions of numbers.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. I don't know if I am comfortable with it, but, whatever.
It's an option. If we need to hide or pretend to be someone else for some time, we can also use this as very important sway with other individuals. For instance, the one Araness that we have yet to go find. Speaking of which, should we go find her now?
Right now.
I mean...
Probably not.
Yeah, she's
not a good idea.
Probably doing business or if not sleeping. But...
Do they sleep?
I don't... As a player, I genuinely don't know. And as a DM, I also genuinely don't know.
As a DM, I genuinely do not know either. I assume no, because they're not people.
But creatures still have to sleep. Like dragons and crap still sleep.
Yeah, but these aren't like...
They're just devils.
They're horrible people. I don't know. Let me run the Google machine. It might tell me what I need to know.
This works because Jester we can have this conversation while Jester and Hannah is talking stuff. she still has her cloak, so if we find her, then we'll be able to regather that. And she was talking about the same sort of deal that Krishnov was on.
This will answer all the questions we have. They do not eat, drink, or sleep. They never stop.
Lovely. I mean, we could go find her.
I don't know if I want to wander around alone in this devil-infested city at night.
You can't see it as we're melted into stone. I'm gonna put stony fingers in quotations. Yes, night.
Good.
But if we can find her, we have another deal with her that we could make. And she's an interesting individual.
Well, I mean, she also has her stuff, so...
Sure, our stuff is very important and valuable to us, but at the same time, it might just get taken by someone else. That imp was trying to take your bag.
That little shitbag. Yeah, we have to kill him. Or get him killed, at least.
Well, if we go turn him in, he'll die for sure.
Anna, I have a serious question for you.
And what would that be?
Are we going to become bad people again? I feel like I've already answered that question for myself.
I don't know. At the same time, we need to live. And as you saw before, it's survival of the fittest down here. But at the same time, we need allies. We need important allies, and I'll just say, maybe keep the murdering offhand.
I'll try.
Apart from that, we have to do what we can.
Yes.
I have these 3 people quite literally eating out of my hand. It'll be out of the bag of holding, but it'll be out of my hand. So
You really need to work on your I'm blanking on the fucking term. Metaphors, similes, not quite what that is. Regardless, that figure of speech, you need to work on it. But yes, I think it is time that we go to bed.
yes. All right.
Good night.
Yes. I'm gonna just sleep.
All right. So you sleep, and you have a dream.
Oh boy.
You are standing in complete darkness. You look around to all sides, and nothing but the inky blackness. You look up, and you can see a red sky, like a swirling red maelstrom, high above you. And in front of that, between you and the sky, appears to be rocky outcroppings. And it occurs to you in that moment that you are...
I'm gonna try to retain it.
Go for it.
Ooh. 9.
Oh, I got a 2.
Oh wow, sweet. Okay, cool. So 5 more minutes.
Just enough for the dream, I hope.
Well, I suppose the dream would still continue, huh?
I don't know.
I don't know. Regardless.
So yes, you realize you were standing in this horrendously deep canyon. Like, on a much grander scale than even the Grand Canyon. Like, very, very deep. You begin to hear movement from all around you. And hissing, like from that of a snake. You panic and attempt to run from the sound. You make it a good 20 feet before you impact a gigantic scaled body covered in these nebulous black scales. You panic, press yourself against them, and turn around. As you do, a sinister red light fills the area, and you see you are stuck right in the center of this gigantic coiled snake with its head raised high above you. You notice too that the snake is covered in these numerous deep bleeding cuts, and blood just pours from its body.
Would I know what kind of creature this is?
I'll let you roll at the end.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
As you look at it, you can see the blood begins to boil every once in a while. And from its blood sprouts devils, such as pit fiends and horned devils. And they look at you and fly up into the sky out of the canyon.
Oh.
The snake looks at you with intelligent eyes, its tongue lashing out and tasting the air.
Smelling.
It lowers its head down right in front of you, about 20 feet away. And it says, "How curious." And you wake up.
Oh, God. I'm just gonna quickly meld out of the stone. Okay. Okay, then.
As you get out of the stone, you can see the sisters and Ben sitting around looking at you, alarmed.
So just gotta pop out of the stone.
Make a religion check with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, but the first one was a natural 20. That's still pretty good. 18.
With the very, very few scraps of knowledge you have on giant snake gods, you at first aren't quite sure, as the gods can take on whatever form they choose, so it could just be some kind of evil god trying to scare you or manipulate you or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the wounds are very synonymous with one individual, that being Asmodeus, Lord of the Nine Hells.
Fun. Just as I remember that, I'm going to have a quick spark of inspiration. I'm going to cast Create Food and Water, but I'm going to try to... Because, let's see here. How can I do this? Can I pick a... Can I pick... Or does it just pop it out? 45 ground or in containers within range. Can I create the 45 pounds of food in the bag of holding?
Go for it. Before you cast the spell, though, roll a percentile dice.
Oh. Okay. 51.
With a 51, you go to cast your spell, and it requires more effort than you remember. Like before, you could just cast it normally, but now it requires more from you. Nothing like exhaustion levels or anything, but it requires more of your effort in order to pull off the same effect.
Did I use like 2 spell slots or something?
No.
I just feel like it was more. I had to put more exertion into it.
Yes.
But
you create the food and water as normal.
The water is, I guess, also in it. Okay, now I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna go sink back out.
Well.
Oh God, I don't know how to feel about it, Asmodeus. So, for the video's sake, we decided that it would probably be best to just do this in 2-hour blocks. So 1 hour being one person, 1 hour being the other person, and then we'll have like a small discussion in between as we gotta get stuff, go to the bathroom, or do whatever. Probably not gonna have the go to the bathroom portion in it, but you know.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, clearly. let me have my 15-foot headphone cable. I suppose that wouldn't even still reach the bathroom. So never mind. That'd be dumb. God, being an incubus or succubus is so disgusting.
Oh, I hated it. Every second of it. It was awful.
But you threw a deal at me that Hannah couldn't refuse. We really needed powerful allies, and we don't know where the Araness is. You're an animal. You're gonna have us like being a part of them for so long.
Oh, I have no intention on us leaving.
I felt so uncomfortable inside of that fucking sacrifice room. It's a sacrifice room, however way you want to fucking put it. They fucking
was
just
really bad.
murdered that dude inside of a horrible, horrible torturing device for no reason.
It was the first thing that came to my mind, and I'm like, yep, I'm running with this.
It's so
gross.
I don't even want to know what the pool of blood is for.
Just the dead people.
I figured, but you know.
They don't drain it.
Oh, God, gross. Oh, gross. The room probably smells of, like, iron.
Yep, it's really bad.
Oh, I'm gonna vomit. I love how the fact that we had the Krishnov thing going and then immediately diffused it. We're not gonna do that. Fuck that. We're gonna die if we follow this stupid imp.
It wouldn't have been worth it anyway.
No! We would have been fucked over by following over some people. All kinds of crap.
Definitely not worth it.
No.
I think we're in a better position now, but still not ideal.
Oh god, no. We're in hell. We're not gonna be ideal for some time until we can figure out what we can do with that Araness. She gave us a deal of if we can become if she rises beyond where she's at and we become her secretary, we fucking jump like 3 classes.
Well, she's what, 4th from the top?
Yeah, she's pretty high up there. If we can become like below her, we fucking pass by Horn Devils, Succubi, all kinds of crap.
Literally all the lessers and some of the graders as well.
Yeah. We can be fucking way higher. I mean, not necessarily if that's better for us, but at least, we won't be slaves.
It's not as good because we have more guys gunning for our position.
Yeah, but
we're also better off. So
we'll
it's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah, we'll be able to do much better than where we currently are.
In a fucking sweatshop, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm okay with it. Jester might not be, though.
Jester is very uncomfortable.
Jester might suck at his job.
We're technically the same person, so we work the same job.
Oh yeah, we definitely work the same job.
Oh boy,
but
my strong point.
Yeah, your intelligence of what, 11?
11.
Yeah, not good. Not good. Your perception's pretty good though.
Debatable.
It's better than mine.
Fair.
But I don't think it helped with history or religion that you had to use.
God no. Straight rolls for any intelligence-based check. Fuck that.
God, you're gonna get us fucking murdered.
Hey, we work for them now. I hope we're just slightly on their good side, and they'll take it easy on us. But
Mm-hmm. You're gonna be fucking You're gonna be so happy that Anna made friends with those 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if we went into that with no allies, you would have fucking killed us. We would be the old dude in the fucking bag.
I don't want to go in the bag.
Well, too bad. Got 2 people.
God damn it. We need more.
I mean, the more people I have to talk with, the better. I can speak with all of them.
Put them all in the bag.
As long as they've got mouths, I can talk to them.
Yes, I had quite the fun time. It's always so entertaining to unnerve you with horrible NPCs that scare myself.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, God. I hated them. Hate him. She wasn't too bad.
No.
I toned her back a little bit.
Well, she wasn't that bad from the begin with either. We didn't really talk to her.
No.
She just, we just worked for her, told us that we had to organize everything. That's when I learned about the Blood War and all the fucking hundreds of thousands of deaths in it. And then she, ate a dude. So.
We call that a win-win.
Yeah, sure.
Jester calls that a win-win.
Yeah, Jester does. And I was like, fuck, we lost another dude. At least I don't have to do the ditzy voice around her anymore.
I'm so pleased. So very, very pleased.
You hated Din Anna.
For
She needed to be dumb to get good information.
mm-hmm.
Anna doesn't know too much about the Nine Hells at the time, and she was like worried that maybe being too smart meant, oh, this person's a threat killer. So she wanted to be just ditzy and stupid while still gathering information, which she did. Did fine, and then we became slaves. But
Yes, well, it turned out for the better, I think.
yeah, probably.
I don't think we had any real other options.
Oh god, no, we had nothing else going for us. All right, well, I think this is a good point to cut the video for now.
Yes.
I gotta go use the bathroom. So
Shame on you.
but this is the first episode essentially. So
Yes.
thank you everyone for listening. We probably gonna keep going with this. It's pretty fun, honestly. Just switching, and it's also honestly from DM to DM very relaxing, not having to worry 100% about planning.
About anything, yes.
Yeah, like
so good.
Just throwing out ideas and then seeing if the other DM follows it or changes it. It's nice. It's not like, oh, we're ruining our story because this person didn't follow something else. No, we're just rolling with what we got.
Yeah, it's never gonna be us at odds with each other, if that makes sense. We'll always attempt to bounce ideas off each other. At least I hope.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I'm not gonna immediately turn around and be like, that didn't happen. No, I was just joking with you. No, that's not how people work in D&D. It's not how people work in real life either. It's like,
God, no.
It's not like, oh yeah, sorry, I had a split personality for a second there. As far as we know, we're the only ones with that. But yeah.
Oh, we should also point out that we don't exactly know why.
Mark? No idea why we have the same body or anything. As far as Anna knows, Jester just appeared. They both just appeared in the same body.
Yep, with very minimal knowledge of what happened beforehand.
Yeah, we both. I think I can safely agree. We both didn't know we were a changeling, right? Like.
No. At first, no.
Yeah. So, and as far as Anna knows, she has no knowledge of what she was before. Jester has like a vague idea of a few people, but other than that,
that's about it. No real substantial historical information.
None. And we just went off our lives, basically flipping back and forth. For a while, we had issues even knowing the other existed, and for very brief moments, it was just like people getting sucked out when having like no connection to their body before they finally made contact and actually discussed and everything like that, and grew to essentially hate each other for a while. Absolutely hated each other because Jester's a fucking murderous maniac.
I mean, he still kind of is, but he's
toned it back.
Toned way down.
Oh, from murdering a child, posing as said child to kill the father? Yeah, a little bit.
Uncle. It was the uncle.
Look, I don't think that's the point to raise here.
I mean, potato, tomato.
Potato, tomato? What?
Yes, of course.
Look, I have to pee, so we're gonna end this video here, and then we'll probably continue on with another session, and maybe that one will be 3 hours long. We're not sure. We're not sure how long because sometimes it's varies. Sometimes we go for 6 hours. Sometimes it's 8. Sometimes it's only 4.
We record really, really, really fucking late, and sometimes it's just kind of how tired we are.
Yeah, it's like 1 a.m. for me right now. So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for listening, and we'll be back next time.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.